Welcome to our channel. We are pleased you have joined us today. We have returned back to higher ground for a winter search. Excitement in the forest came early for Nancy and I this year.
I keep hearing it down there. Oh.
It all started Monday afternoon, January 29th, 2024. We wanted to see what gear we would need to gain access to the mystery shelter. Considering how easily Nancy was sinking, it became evident that the wet snow would not be firm enough for travel without the aid of skis or snowshoes. This was important information to add to our list of items needed for the future journey. We had just enough time in the day left for some reconnaissance flying with the drone. We could already see that we would be negotiating some downed timber. We also noted that someone has been on this trail perhaps a week before us. During recon flights, I scanned the area first, then view the video at home on a bigger screen later. While observing the footage that evening, I spotted something right here, next to the old campground outhouse. I could almost swear that this is a human figure standing there, with a pack on his back, looking west. The only vehicle at the trailhead is ours. If that is someone, where did he hike in from? It looks like a young man. Is he on his way to the shelter? Back at home, we waited between rainstorms and prepared to ski into the site that Saturday, February 3rd. It is an unusually rainy winter this year. We are lucky we still have some snow in the mountains. We can gain altitude fairly quickly around here to reach snow level. The lack of snow is not good for the local economy in this county. The timber industry around here depends on the frozen ground to operate efficiently. We are beginning to enter a fog bank. We are hoping to climb out of it soon. A mile from the National Forest boundary, and the fog is still fairly thick. As we approach the Colville National Forest, the fog is starting to thin out. It will not be long until we turn off the pavement. The primitive road was glare ice. I only took my two-wheel drive pickup, so I placed some logs in the bed with my tractor. More weight, better traction.
Now there's our first crossing, tree down. What do you think, pal?
Can we get around that?
Let's see, I'm gonna ski around it. And Nancy's gonna go under it.
Yep.
What do you think, pal?
I think so far so good.
We got two more deadfalls to cross. And then we'll be home free.
We still had to make all these tree crossings again on the way back. It was important that we accomplish this before dark fell. sign in the area. Whoever was ahead of us seemed to be interested in the deer tracks as well.
Those look like awful big tracks.
We could not help but notice that our visitors were searching the woods more thoroughly now.
Looks like the shelter might be collapsed. I can't tell. Come on up. I think it's still there.
What?
I don't know who's wandering around here with their boots on, sinking in the snow.
It takes a lot more energy to walk in this far with boots instead of skis. The closer we came to the shelter, the more tracks we saw. Now, the boot prints are too numerous to keep track of. They are scattered all over the place.
Well, we said we'd come back in the winter.
Well, we finally made it. It feels like home. We can rest a bit. We could see that the shelter supported the snow well all winter.
No one has taken this off of it. They've left it alone.
That pole back there looks like it's been burned on the end.
I noticed on the way in that we had been following at least two distinctively different prints. One set of prints are much older and melted out. I could see where someone walked on top of the older snowshoe prints with their boots. Here is the boot tracks by themselves. They are more recent than the snowshoe tracks. They have the same long stride we saw earlier. It is obvious that the boots went everywhere the snowshoes went, tracking this deer. I think at least one of these people used the shelter for a hunting blind.
It's up there. So quiet, and then when you do hear something,
Sounded like voices to me.
how could it be voices?
I don't know.
Well, it looks like the shelter held out pretty good for... So we've had about 3 feet of snow melt. So it was about 3 feet deeper here, but it's been raining for 2 weeks. So see how the bare ground and... That's where I heard all that weird stuff that first time, and I just looked down at that hole, but I don't know what it is.
You know, it seems like every time the ravens finally break the silence, I get this feeling like they were trying to warn us of something. Now the feeling that something was watching us seemed undeniable to me. It is so quiet out here, except for the black-feathered messengers of the forest. They are unseen in the mountain mist, but they see all. The tension in the air was like an overinflated balloon about to burst. It was time to catch up with Nancy. I was the only one packing a pistol and bear spray. I did not want her out of my protection range. Only a minute later, we hear something. I turned the camera on as I tried to look into the ravine where I thought the sound was coming from.
I keep hearing it down there.
Nancy made it clear that we should now exit the forest. This is when I found the large branch that somehow fell out of the sky. I didn't have time to search the treetops. Nancy was quite ready to leave, and I still had to put my skis on.
Well, I don't want to ski down there, and I know there's something walking around, but
The way back was pretty quiet. I would send Nancy ahead of me a ways, then check our back trail before catching up to her.
Now we're logging.
yeah.
That was Nancy's nervous laugh.
Get out of your way.
You might be able to push that log down enough for me to crawl over it. Ready?
Yep.
Well done.
Good for you. Not so good for me.
So, good log crossing for me, though. With a little help from you. Well done, pal.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh. Oh, okay.
How about that? Almost back to the truck, and Nancy's going under and I'm going around again. Looks like we made it.
Coming up in our next episode, we will return to search the treetops for the source of the flying branch. We also want to search the ravine going down to the lake. Join us if you'd like. We'd love to have you along.